sometimes ask, what happens if I die without making a will? And the answer to that is really nobody does die without leaving a will. Everybody dies with arrangements in place for what's going to happen to their assets after their death. Some people make those arrangements themselves, and that's what's conventionally known as leaving a will. Other people die without having made any such arrangements, and that means that they're subject to the intestacy laws. The intestacy laws are effectively a will that's been written for you because you haven't done it yourself. It's a one-size-fits-all approach, but one size very rarely does fit all, and unfortunately a lot of people fall foul of the regulations. So if you write a will, it allows you to say exactly what you want to happen with your assets, who you want to benefit, and when that's going to happen. If you're subject to the intestacy laws, then it depends very much who you leave behind you. The first people in line to benefit are a spouse, but not, as many people think, to the value of the whole estate. A spouse only gets a certain amount if there are children as well. The children then get some of the remainder, and that will be held in trust for them until the age of 18, at which point they get everything. If you leave neither a spouse nor children, then things start getting even more complicated and interesting. Then the next people in line are the parents. That will work sometimes if it's a small estate, because they are obviously close relatives. But if it's a large estate, then it can be terrible for inheritance tax planning. Imagine if you leave an estate which is sizable and therefore subject to quite a lot of inheritance tax. You die without making a will, and it passes up to your parents, getting taxed at 40% on the way up. Your parents may then only survive you by a few years, and then die themselves, leaving it to, say, your siblings. That large amount of money is taxed again on the way down to your siblings. And in fact, what's happened to your estate is that it's virtually all gone in tax one way or another. So the inheritance tax, the intestacy rules are often a real problem for people with large taxable estates. And for people who don't have traditional family setups, and for people who need to control the destination of their assets. And when you add all those together, it ends up being virtually everyone.